This is exactly how one of our clients, Nigel, a real estate agent in Winnipeg, Manitoba, got 2 listings under contract within 68 days of running YouTube ads inside our program, Listing Accelerator. I'll show you the proof right now that we actually got these results.
Good news, we had our first listing appointment today, so that was awesome.
Nice. Just a small detail I wanted to add is Nigel obviously is the owner of the brokerage. So he has Wes, his marketing expert, working with them, and he's the one basically that we are communicating with. So that's why the screenshots you'll see will be with Wes, because Nigel is focusing on getting back to the leads, booking the listing appointments, and actually selling the properties. And Wes is the one focusing on the marketing. So if you ever have someone in your team that does marketing, you don't even need to execute on this. You can have them execute the ads for you, and you can just focus on doing what you're good at, which is probably booking appointments, closing the deal once you're face-to-face on the listing appointment and selling properties. So we actually started running the ads August 26th, and then November 22nd is when they got their second listing. So in the span of 68 days, they actually got that result. Now, let me walk you through how we've done it step by step so you can see and learn from the process. In the YouTube ads, we simplify the process of getting what they're looking for. So it's easy to understand and reduce mental friction to click on the ad to learn more. So let me explain what I mean by this. So what do sellers want? They want to sell their property for top dollar as quickly as possible with the least amount of work or stress involved, right? Now, in order to achieve this result, they obviously need to go through different steps and take certain actions. Now, I don't know exactly how many actions they need to take. It might depend on their situation. It might be 126, it might be 15, it might be 1,000 actions, right? Or 1,000 little things that they need to do, right? The point is, they don't need to know all of this. They don't know how to sell properties. They don't know the whole entire process, and this is your job, right? You know all the 1,000 steps because you've done it so many times that it's become automatic, and you simplified it in your mind to 3 steps maybe, right? 3 big key things. So instead of telling them all the little small details of what they need to do, we're giving them the big picture. That way, we're not overwhelming them and it's not overcomplicating the process. We're simplifying it, right? So that anybody can understand really quickly. If a 5-year-old cannot understand what you're saying on your ad, it's not simple enough, right? And then the second thing that this does is it reduces mental friction to click on the ad to learn more. What I mean by this is if the ad seems complicated or painful to execute on, for example, hey, I say, I'm gonna show you the 1,200 actions you need to take to sell your property for $200,000 over asking price. What? I don't have time to execute on 1,000 actions to get that result. They will not click on it because it seems like a big task, right? The reason why we procrastinate is because we see the big task as a huge task, but instead a way to counter procrastination is just to break down your big project into small achievable tasks. So that's why we want to simplify this. The second thing that's important to know here is that we were targeting 6 different targeting options per campaign, and we are still doing that, by the way, which we don't usually do, right? Usually we just do 1 targeting option per campaign, but in this case specifically, it's performing extremely well. So let me show you what I mean. In the actual audience, you can stack different interests, right? So we're stacking 6 of them to have the perfect audience, right? So now if you copy this, it might work, it might not work. Depends on your market, depending on your niche, who you're targeting, and what you're advertising, right? What's your USP, your unique selling proposition? What people don't understand is that YouTube ads and every other mechanism out there has certain frameworks, but you can't just copy and paste what everybody else is doing because otherwise, how would you stand out? And it's not a cookie cutter approach. It needs to be personalized to you and your market, and you need to gather data from the market. If you see that these 6 audiences are not working for you, then you have to switch them. We know exactly what works, but we're always trying to optimize it, right? And improve and outperform the ones that already are working. So basically the demographic we're targeting is real estate, meaning people who are interested in real estate. We also have in-market audiences of real estate, people interested in purchasing or renting a residential or commercial real estate. The other thing is life events. We're targeting 4 life events, actually. Home renovation, meaning people who are preparing to renovate a home or have recently renovated their home. Why is that? Because obviously if they're renovating their home, it might be because they want to sell it afterwards for top dollar. Or they're preparing to renovate, you can have an ad saying, for example, hey, instead of renovating, it might actually be more worth it for you in your situation to not renovate and instead invest in a new property. So that way they don't have to like worry about the hassle of renovating, managing this, or doing it themselves. They could just spend that money on the new property. Another thing is we are targeting renovating homes soon. So same thing, basically just a different audience. Retirement. So that could be good if you're targeting downsizers, right? People who are retiring from work soon or have recently retired. And then same thing here, people who have recently retired from work. So pretty much the same thing, but just excluding the people who are preparing to retire. They already are retired. That could be empty nesters. That could be a niche to target as well on its own. The budget is $30 per day per campaign. So let me show you here different campaigns that we have. Let's see. So budget $30 per day per campaign. And then that was like one of the first campaigns that we launched. We also have another one, number 3 at $30 per day. So $60 per day. We didn't start at that point. We started at $25 per day on previous campaigns. And then afterwards we upped that to $30 and then we duplicated it with a new campaign. That's called horizontal scaling. If you're interested in this, it's basically a strategy to scale your campaigns, because once something is working, you want to scale it. Biggest mistake I see out there is real estate agents not scaling their campaigns. Why? Because they don't track anything. They don't know what's their ROI. They don't know what's their cost to acquire a listing, their cost to acquire a listing implement, their cost to acquire a lead, and their cost to acquire a qualified lead. If you have these numbers down and you know your conversion rate, then you should be really confident to scale your campaign and your ad spend without hesitating and removing emotions from that process, because you know the numbers. So it's just math, right? At that point, if you're putting in $1, you're getting back $8, then just spend $10 to get back $80. Like logic, remove emotions. Because when you start spending more money, what happens is you start to shit yourself. Like it's actually scary to spend a lot of money because there's a delay to see that money getting back to you. So you're investing money right now. It takes time to generate the leads. It takes time to, get a hold of the lead. It takes time to meet them. It takes time to list the property. It takes time to sell the property. You have to understand during that time, you're not seeing your money back. But when you do get it, now you understand, okay, I'm putting in $10, getting back $80. Let me spend more. So delayed gratification, just like with anything else great in life, working out, to the gym, just your business in general. You don't start day one and you see immediate results. Consistent action compounded over time will get you the result you're looking for, basically. So point is, that's why we scale the campaign, $30 per day per campaign each. Horizontal scaling, we can also do vertical scaling, but I won't get into this in this video. Now, as I said, on the landing page, we split tested, showcasing a picture of a house. So once they click on the ad, they land on the landing page. Now, once they're on the landing page, we have 2 split tests, basically. So 50% of the traffic is being sent to one page. The other 50% is being sent to a second page. The reason why we do this is because we want to see which page will convert the best. Now, one of them, we're showcasing a picture of a house that we've sold over asking price with red captions below it, like, below the image with the sold price, and it actually outperformed the other landing pages. So that's just something we're testing. It might actually outperform some of your landing pages right now, right? Because that's called social proof. If you show that what you are seeing is actually true and it's working out, then people want to know that, and it reassures them that, okay, I'm giving my information to somebody that actually knows what the hell they're doing, and this is the result I'm looking for. So if you can show them, hey, we've sold these properties in this area, this neighborhood for, X price, then do it. Now, when we generate the lead, okay, when we have the lead information and they reply that they want to sell or might be interested, depending on the market, right? They might say, yes, I'm interested, or they might say, yeah, I might be interested, depending on like how much I could get for my property. The next question to ask is the address. Really important here, okay? The reason why we do this is because, first of all, it helps us move the conversation forward forward to land an appointment with them. Because after that, we can be like, oh wow, nice property. Would love to give you the exact value you could get for your house. I just need to see it like, in person to give you the actual accurate estimate. It'd only take me like 50 minutes. The second reason why we ask the address right away is because we can also utilize this in the future, okay? To nurture these leads by sending out postcards. If they're not ready to sell right now, they're not ready to meet right now, you can keep them in your database and send them postcards once in a while, every like 2-3 months, just to keep them in the loop. And now you have their address. You can also show up to them once in a while and see, where they're at in their selling process. Let's now look at the numbers. If we look at the numbers, we can say that they invested $1,938.60 spent on YouTube ads. All right. So if we look at the total cost, let me show you right here. There it is. We got 51 leads in total, 15 appointments, including in-person listing appointments and phone appointments, and 2 listings under contract. Now, important thing here is that 2 listings under contract and many more conversations that will eventually lead to a listing under contract. Because right now they've gone on multiple listing appointments, more than 2, and some of them are just not ready right now. It might sell in a few weeks, might sell in a few months, but we have that relationship built in already and we have the foot in the door, right? And then from there, it's just a matter of time before we close them. So right now though, in 68 days, we have 2 listings closed under contract. That's a GCI, gross commission income, of $15,850. And that's just for these 2, right? If we get more, then it will be more than this. And obviously if you get referrals from the clients that you got, you're gonna get more than this. But these referrals are coming from the initial clients in the first place. So you got to keep that in mind when you're calculating what's your return on ad spend or your return on investment, ROAS, okay? So right now, calculating, taking the GCI and divided it by the ad spend, it's a 8x return on ad spend, okay? If you ever want to learn more about how we can do this for you, you can book a call below with one of my team members or myself, and we'll be happy to walk you through exactly how we could do this for you in your business starting today.